Hey guys, Tarek here bringing you a 2v2 today. We are on Minsk Pocket. Playing for spawning in the north, we have Iran playing as Soviets. Straight away going for Armoured Assault. Teaming up with him is Gjabu, I guess you would pronounce it that way. Also a Soviets who is Armoured Assault, Guard Motor and Defensive. From the south we have Thomas as Ostheer, straight away going for German Mechanized. Google Translate tells me this is Ariskinosis, playing as Gjabu, who has Grand Defensive, Overwatch, and Fortifications. In terms of rankings here, on the ally side, both random, both around rank 50 in the 50s, and Thomas and Ariskinosis are on a ranged team around rank 140. Haven't played a huge number of games together, just maybe a couple games outside of their placement matches, these two. So we can see a tier 1 start for Iran, not going for M3A1 yet, but I think it is very good on this map. You know, it is relatively large, especially like end to end down this. And I feel like there's certainly enough room for an M3A1. Go for the double penals first though. Does have the penal build time bulletin, so they do come out a little bit faster. Slow paced engagements through the center. Well, these combat engineers will be going for a whole bunch of wiring off around here. It's pretty common. AFK at the moment though. It seems like Iran might just straight up be AFK. Could explain a few things. G42 coming in with the suppression on the combat engineers. They give up on the wire job, hoping to get the decap. Maybe if it was a standard territory point, but these high resource points do take longer to capture and decapture. The squad does come out of suppression though. End up taking quite a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Penal's pushing in, forcing a few retreats. Sternpie's from the other side. Only sent one penal up to meet these Sternpies. Could potentially lose this. Oh no, here comes the other one now. Keeping it safe. I think that's a good choice. Full conscript start for Gjabu, but doesn't have any conscript commanders that actually have weapon upgrades. No SVTs, no PPSHs, so strange. Maybe we'll see some Maxims, that means. We know Dishkas. Or Maxims with maybe Armoured Assault. So far, it looks like the Axis are the ones creeping forwards. The AFK time for Iran. 13. About to run right into this MG42 here with this big penal blob. Only suppresses one though, the others stay just out of AoE suppression. So we can continue to attack. MG42 spinning around. Penals though, getting a little bit weak. Might struggle to overwhelm the Grenadiers, but it does allow the conscripts to force away the MG42. Good news for the allies through the centre. Penals are getting picked apart at the moment, outnumbered. Conscripts wrapping around to the north. Good heavy cover position there for Iran. 4 Fox Grenadiers starts for Ariskinosis. So no early Jaeger lights. I've seen a lot of players go for, you know, maybe like 3 Fox into early machine guns in these team games as well. Just a standard 4 Fox Grenadier start for Ariskinosis. Conscripts coming around the corner, getting in close. Their preferred range against the Grenadiers, and they work nicely. 2 of those upgraded with the LMGs as well. So good working there from Gjabu. Gonna get a bunch of territory on the back of that as well. Has put down tier 2. Could have stuck around with that combat engineer, put down tier 3 as well if you're going for like a single combat engineer build. Just pay to try and get that up when you have the opportunities available. Otherwise it can be pretty tricky. Empire is looking to hide behind the wall. The penal jumps into the building. 4 penal stuff for a run. You don't see this too often. Doesn't have any guards in his commander though, so ordinarily you might go for a guard squad instead of that 4th penal. Run doesn't have that option. But I do think they are deceptively quite strong for penal builds. I think worth considering. I do get shut down pretty hard by machine guns though. Only one at the moment for Thomas. Going for a 4th Grenadiers, but 222. Black half track coming in for Ariskinosis. Good cut off, well, yeah, decap on the fuel. Conscripts do have anti-tank grenades already for Gjabu. A 5th penal coming in for Iran meanwhile. 222 interrupting the mine planting. So, okay, penals. This squad back at base upgrading with PTRSs. So nothing to answer back against the 222. And yeah, the flak half track also typically pretty good against PTRS squads. Though that being said, PTRS penals are better than guards, I think. Since they do have 3 PTRSs, you can generally get 1 volley with all 3 off on the flak half track before you get suppressed. Looks better than just the 2 that the guards have. This in the center, just out of range at the moment. Here come the double axis light vehicles. Oh. Pushing forwards. There's this. I think he put that on A move. I don't know what's going on there, but finally fires off a shot now. Smoke out to safety. PTRS. Oh, come in with the attack round. Was that? Oh my god! I thought there was no chance that this would land the follow-up hits. That was really well done by Gjabu. Well, that is very good news for the allies. Question is, does Ariskinosis go for the rebuild on that? More people are reluctant to. So 6 penals. Big old blob for Iran. Let's barrage into the center. MG42 inching forwards. Penal blob quite nicely at the moment, but here comes the suppression. One squad suppressed. 222 inching forwards as well. Penal blob slowly getting picked apart. Has to be worried about that MG42 inching forwards all the time as well. It looks like Ariskinosis not going to go for another flak half track. Going to put down the tech structure instead. So this looking to set up on the 222. Switching over to a Zis barrage on the machine gun though. Interrupted. Allies do manage to hold on to the fuel only just. Close call. Right. Iran foregoing tier 3, just investing everything into these penals at the moment, having to reinforce them all. Axis though, you know, Thomas perhaps making a slight mistake, going for an extra grenadier at this stage instead of a 2nd machine gun. Oh, that was bad from Gjabu, just letting the Zis die there. Trying to go for a Zis barrage. Oh. This is... Nope, not working. Got some Korean text in there. I'll turn on the overlay. Give me a minute. Yep. Oh, Gjabu does upgrade this to a quad. It's quite late to be getting the quad. We do have a pack out for Thomas. No anti-tank at all though for Ariskinosis, investing into the early tech truck. Was briefly on the front lines, but ends up putting it in his base. Doesn't want to take any risks. Interesting. There's one minesweeper activated and a whole bunch more going to get swept up.
Battle damage estimates show the enemy at 300
Yeah, you hear that? The announcer, allies really hurting, not controlling the VPs on the edge almost at all. Falling way behind in that department.
What do you need?
Looks like the penals are going to continue to group up, operate in unison.
Standing by.
What over here sees that the path is clear, but sending these conscripts forwards really needs to send a unit back here to do some capping.
We are losing territory.
Can't afford to fall this far behind in VPs so early on. MG for Ariskinosis, about to get flanked by these conscripts though. He's coming in from the side as well. This is a lot of firepower all of a sudden. Don't want to delay that retreat at all. G42's back there though, shutting down Gjabu's squads. Iran just staying out of range. Oh, now running back into range. Doesn't get suppressed though, just a small sprinkling of damage.
Our industry grows to
Got the spotting scopes active now for Thomas on that 222. Does manage to get a squad up to the north. Also has tier 4 up, Gjabu. Still 45 fuel away from a T-34 if that's going to be the option. The penal blob heading to the north. A couple of mines coming up. Oh, yes, mines in fact. That's actually really good. I was going to talk about that earlier, but Iran, one combat engineer with the flamethrower, no sweepers at all. Powerless against yes mines. That being said, now that excuse me, now that penals have attack ground, can you attack ground S mines? Don't think I've ever tried it. It'll be an interesting experiment actually. So as to be worried that if he runs deep, he has to retreat over those S mines. Could be nasty on retreat as well.
We are losing a sector.
And he does somewhat tip its hand, coming into sight range there. So the penal blob's just going to try and knock it out head on, but getting suppressed by the S mines. Completely shut down.
Enemy is taking our
Mines
territory.
blob not working out there at all. And the allies continue to hurt for territory control. Thomas with a boatload of manpower spare at the moment as well. Quad though, doing some good work through the centre. Conscript's about to run into these machine guns though. Uh-oh. Okay, Pack decides to get out of there instead of trying to go for the second hit. Now the allies are about to tick under 200 VPs. I think if I was Iran, I'd be trying to go for the VP decapture. Decapping a standard territory point like this isn't really going to matter too much. Should be alright. I think he's off to the right hand side of the S mines.
We have 200 points remaining.
Here we go, blob coming through the center. Backed up with the machine gun.
Anti-tank battery is ready for deployment. We need some reconnaissance.
Second pyro out for Thomas. Trying to spend a bit of manpower. Has gone straight for battle phase 3 as well. Guessing it's going to be a Brumbier first. Will work nicely against the penals. Got a second anti-tank gun coming up for Gjabu though. And Ariskinosis. Not going for a medium tank. Opting for a squad of overs. T-34-85 meanwhile for Iran on the far side getting to work. There's that Raketin. Okay, it's in the center at the moment, so this is just getting all the territory at the moment. Looks like he's going to keep the penals, and he's running right through that capture circle, so the Axis can see exactly where those penals are heading. We have a telemine up there. I'm backing through the same area he came from though. I'm going to run over that. Fighting at a smart range here, just out of range of that Raketin. Penals surging in, looking for the decrew on the Raketin. Just managed to get one more shot in. Web is coming in from the side. We've got For the Fatherland active. So it's helping out Ariskinosis. Raketin does get decrewed though. PTRS is trying to kill off the decrewed Raketin, and they managed to do so. So overall, pretty successful attack for Iran. Has a lot of repairs required to do now on that T-34, but got the job done. Still, the Allies got very low, 150 remaining. Seem to have stabilized somewhat though. Half-track hit a mine over here, it looks like, and down it goes. Yes, indeed. Brumbier first from Thomas. He's picked up a second anti-tank gun to back that up as well. T-34-85 for Gjabu. Going for guard motor though. Historically a pretty good map for the heavy mortar as well, this one. But maybe a bit late for that. Katyusha might be the better option shortly. Good damage from that T-34-85, 8 kills already. Gonna open up the right hand side. Thomas meanwhile making a big push on the left. Brumbier 0 kills still though. Pack somewhat nearby for Thomas. No time to retreat there for Gjabu. Brumbier only doing minor damage. Doubling tank guns from the side, but I think these were spotted. Under a bit of pressure from the infantry, have to get out of there. Hands of 4 actually from Ariskinosis. Interesting. But, you know, double PTRS penals backing up with the T-34-85. That's not having a good time. Really struggle. Doesn't have the backup of that Raketin anymore, remember, so Ariskinosis in some trouble on his side of the map all of a sudden. Really good health damage in there from the Brumbier. Tank guns under pressure though. All of these grenadiers have retreated. One pack getting decrewed. The other one lining up a shot. Does get some big damage onto the 85, but now the second pack could get decrewed as well. There it goes. Brumbier took a lot of health damage. Looks like maybe Gjabu going to jump on top of one of these. He's bringing the double anti-tank guns To finish off the decrewed weapons, here comes some more grenadiers though. One pack destroyed. We just need to get on there ASAP. This one. Oh, does get there. Looks like the grenadier from furthest away that had to get on the gun to pick it up. That was a close call. But yeah, I mean, Axis, they were sitting pretty, and all of a sudden, struggle streak. Thing is, you know, the Panzer IVs can do okay bleed against PTRS squads, but does also take a reasonable amount of damage in return. And T-3485 is such a beast. Does have a pretty good matchup overall with the Panzer IV. It's about to outnumber the Panzer IV 2-1 as well. A whole bunch of mines down here. Spotted by Ariskinosis' sweeper. As those PTRS penals are so good against Panthers, which would ordinarily be pretty good against these 85s. But that does complicate things a lot. Attack grounding away the mines. Quite a lot of success as well. There's a 4 popping the blitz. Dude of the PTRS is there, so he gives up on that blitz attempt very quickly. And I think that was the right call. Bombardier not back up to full strength, but returning to combat. 11 kills on it already, actually. I didn't notice it got so many. Those packs do have to cart themselves around for Thomas. Pack now, he's only got one. This is a relatively large map as well, so they do take quite some time to rotate. There goes MG34 trying to retreat, doesn't get out of there in time. The amount of firepower here for Iran, overwhelming currently. Activated for the fatherland again, trying to hold on. Damage in there from the Bombardier. Here come the double Zis and a second T-3485 for Gjabu as well. Takes a shot though. So Thomas holding on. Still has all of his units. But has definitely been losing a fair amount of territory control.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
Pretty close to enough resources for another vehicle though, if that's what he wants to go for. Probably will be the Panther, given that he's down a pack. Does need some extra anti-tank to deal with the double T-3485s. Panther coming in for Ariskinosis as well. As I was saying though, do struggling against the PTRS penals. Iran could probably even afford to upgrade one more penal squad with the PTRSs as well. This kind of composition is more effective than it initially appears. We'll try and blitz out. Where's the snares? Where's the Fausts? There they come now, very late. Ariskinosis getting overwhelmed. Could lose a Volksgrenadier on retreat now as well. Here comes the Panther. Another Faust. Oh, that one's on cooldown still. Here goes one T-3485. Faust. No, this one's on cooldown as well. Double Faust on that other 85. He didn't do that. Could potentially have injured damage to this one and killed it, but here come the reinforcements for Iran. Double PTRS penals and a 76. That's forcing back the Panther. Another vehicle on the Bombardier on the other side of the map. Iran gonna set up shop on the right hand side. Look to set up the triple cap. The Allies are down to 103 VPs, so they're very far behind in that department. But if you take a look at army size, you can see that Ariskinosis has fallen behind with the Raketen and Panzer IV loss, as well as MG34 loss as well. Actually, I forgot about that. So all of those losses, and they are really hurting. Comes the bunker buster. Be a decrew on the Zis. There it goes. Back there. I think it's in attack range. But Thomas a little bit slow. There he goes. Takes it out with the sight from the 222 with the spotting scopes. Ariskinosis trying to push back onto the site. Thomas is having, you know, a reasonable amount of success. Oh, he lost the Grenadiers? Wow, okay. Went down to the flames on retreat there. Might pay for the Axis to team up is what I was thinking. You know, the Brumby is going to be such a powerhouse against these penals. Ariskinosis could really use the assistance. Engine damage, but some pretty lucky penetrations, honestly, from these T-34s on that Panther. Grenadiers go down where? In the center, oh boy. Panther just out of range. Could throw off the double Faust here to get the snare. Comes the Katyusha onto the pack. Panther charging forwards. We're going to turn its attention to that side. No munitions for Thomas for a bunker buster. Can make all the difference here. So he's actually disengaging, leaving the pack behind though. That's going to get decrewed, it looks like. There it goes. Lost the MG42 as well. I think that was the Katyusha barrage. Looks like it was right on the edge of the circle. Oh, jumps on the gun just in the nick of time, but it gets decrewed immediately. This barrage combining with that 85, and this barrage finishes off the decrewed weapon. Big losses for the Axis. Infantry for Ariskinosis. Thomas losing support weapons. Both packs, MG42, one Grenadier. Axis starting to struggle. Do manage to jump on the far VP though. Well, we don't see that activated too often. Tracking from the Zis. Boosting up the site, allowing some damage onto the Panther. Comes to the Brumbier. Go for the decrew. Firing a shot into the bunker buster. It's a while to reload for that bunker buster though. Get any double shot potential with that. It's the decrew, Panther. Is he going to try steal it or kill it? That's the big question. There's no infantry nearby for Gjabu. Could get the steal going. T-34s on the far side working quite well. Panther sniping from long range. Here come the PTRSs now. He did upgrade a third squad of those, which I thought was a good idea. Oh, the Panther exposing its rear. PTRS is slow to act. Going for the wipe instead. Don't quite get it. I don't even know what For the Fatherland does. I guess it gives them received accuracy bonus. Oh boy, there go the overs. Slightly late retreat. T-34 looking to get on the rear of the Panther. Maybe do some blocking with all those PTRSs nearby. If he manages to get a sticky satchel off, that would be huge. And there we go. The PTRS is just shredding the Panther. Very low. Just tried to go for the steel. Got part of the way back. Shoot into the center. See nothing there. No kills registered. I don't know about the targeting on that Katyusha barrage, but alright. Thomas does manage to secure the Zis. Is a little bit low on health. The squad he picked it up with was also low.
Fresh Grenadier squad.
The issue for Ariskinosis at the moment, I think ideally maybe the King Tiger would work quite nicely against the Penals, but maybe he just doesn't have enough infantry support anymore after losing those Obers and some Volksgrenadiers. So it looks like Ariskinosis giving up on the right hand side. Going to team up with Thomas. Axis still have plenty of VPs to work with. And this could work quite nicely, but he's driving right next to that central capture circle. It's going to tip the Allies off as to that maneuver. Got to be careful about driving too close to those circles with the sight they provide. That's all the difference, those little touches. This under pressure from the conscript blob. The pack setting up on the 85s. Big damage onto the Brumbier. One anti-tank gun getting decrewed. Here comes the T-34 train from the side for Iran, falling in the plains, and the marked vehicle. Here goes 185 Panther charging around the back. T-34 is coming in from the side though. Oh, there's so many Volksgrenadiers. Extremely low. 3 of them dead just like that. And the Grenadiers down as well. Pack spinning around. Brumbier doing its best, but it's already quite low, and then it gets a main gun crit from the PTRS fire. Trying to get away with that now. T-34 goes for the ram on the Panther, but dies before that can happen. The Brumbier having some clumsy pathing. Ends up going down. Also getting decrewed by the planes. PTRS is trying to finish the job on that decrewed weapon. Suppression kicking in though. Panther for Ariskinosis still alive, but he doesn't have much else. Losing all of his Volksgrenadiers. All the T-34s did survive, and they're backing away. In fact, all of the Iran squads have survived so far. I don't know if he's lost anything, right? One T-34-85, but yeah, no squads dead. Axis, I'm sure, want to hold on to these double anti-tank guns. Here comes a whole raft of conscripts. Gonna come down to Thomas's machine gun position. Looks like he's trying to contest the center though. Gonna get that a bit out of position. Has to retreat. And Gjabu gonna pick up the double anti-tank guns. I think Thomas overstepping. I think he should have just tried to cover the double anti-tank guns with the machine gun, not trying to contest the center. Now both those weapons turned against the Axis. It's looking very grim for them. Man, that was just so nasty. The triple T-34s combining with the planes and a couple PTRS penals. All of those Volksgrenadiers dying. That was brutal. Rebuild on the Brumbier for Thomas. On hold fire, so it misses some damage on the conscripts. If he knows it's on hold fire, imagine it's over. Since it's sometimes hidden behind the indicator for the sight. Now hidden by the marked vehicle plane indicator. It can be easy to miss that sometimes. Not as much of a threat without that bunker buster barrage. So might have a little bit more trouble using it now. Axis do manage to find opportunity to branch out to the far VP. Rebuild on one of the T-34-85s for Gjabu. Meanwhile, Iran pretty much at the pop cap limit. With a huge surplus of manpower as well. A Werfer coming in next for Thomas.
We are at 200 points.
Question is, what is Ariskinosis going to go for next? I don't even know what would be good. It's going to go for some overs, which I think, you know, eventually they'll be pretty good against the penals, but man, it's going to take a while before they vet up and can really fight against those Vet 3 penals. This have been draining up fast, but turning the drain against the Allies. I wonder if another MG34 might have been the better option. Let's just squeeze down the side of that machine gun, get the Molotov off. Allies making a big push. This range worth a strike. Getting a little bit of suppression done, but not really too much damage. T-34's charging in for Iran. The plane's going behind this as well. Big old push from the Allies. Here goes the 222 getting caught with all the trees. T-34 coming back in. That could go down. There's a 4 blitzing after it. Oh, misses the killing blow. Oh, and a bit of pathing blocked by his teammate. There goes the Panzer IV on the swingback. And once again, this does not end up going well for the Axis. For going down. 222. Also a bit of a loss here on Minsk Pocket with the spotting scopes. Is such a powerful tool that Sider provides, and can do some anti-air. Quite bad for the Axis. The good news though is the Allies slow to get on the capture here. So they're still on the drain. Smoke out from the ISG. Okay, that's interesting. Attack ground from the pack. T-34 gets to one shot. Panther wasn't really in position to land a finishing shot on it though. There's the Gjabu Panzer IV. It might have been worth activating the Blitz to boost up its rate of fire with the reload bonus. Could have worked out. Good decrew on the stolen pack. It's still hanging in on the centre. Well, on the far edge though, Thomas about to lose a grenadier. Light vehicle on one of the Panthers. A lot of time to react for Thomas, but doesn't notice. Squad down on the far side. Oh, big shot from the Brumbier. Vet up very quickly if it keeps getting shots like that. T-34 coming in from the side. Maybe going to see some ram action. Double anti-tank guns there for Gjabu as well. Conscripts looking for the decrew on the anti-tank gun. MG doesn't know which way to face at the moment. I think that's really lacking for the Axis at the moment. Just the one machine gun struggling to fight off the Allied infantry. T-34 looking for the kill on the Brumbier. I think he's a little bit too close to attempt a ram. There he goes, manages to get it off. Does not end up getting the kill, but look. Behind that, Thomas losing all of his team weapons. And the Allies getting all the territory controls, so... Still ends up being a pretty good trade for the Allies. In spite of their losses. Panthers coming in. Do have the PTRS Penals coming through as well, though. Not enough infantry to force them back now, though. Because the Werfer hoping for a big hit. Slightly off to the left with that strike, so actually not very much damage on those Penals. They're continuing with the momentum. Allies are down to just 42 VPs though. It's a little bit scary to see Iran branching out to the far VP, looking to get that triple cap cooking again. Thomas going to go for a command tank. Interesting. Might be alright. Perceived damage boost could be quite handy in this scenario, but I do think the Axis could really do with a lot more suppression. Got a Katyusha out now for Iran. I didn't actually notice, but yeah, Gjabu lost that Katyusha out the back. I guess it was to that Panther dive a long time ago. Just another reason why suppression would have been quite strong through this phase. Very little artillery to counter it. The Allies had access to. Conscripts charge into the centre. There's the Bombardier though. Double anti-tank guns there for Gjabu, but they're very low in health. Comes the bunker buster from the Bombardier, looking for the decrew. And both of them do get decrew. Got the Werfer strike coming through as well. Catching some of the repairs. Not doing a huge amount of health damage though. Could easily have done a lot more. T-34 is getting aggressive, containing the Axis tanks. Double anti-tank guns still for Gjabu after losing those double anti-tank guns. So he had 4 of them at one stage. Oh, Werfer in some trouble, taking some Katyusha rockets, nearly goes down. Bombardier in some big trouble. T-34 needs one more shot to pin. Does have the skirts on that. Here come the conscripts. They could still bounce their anti-tank grenades though. There goes the T-34-85. Oh, the anti-tank gun out the back gets the job done. So I don't know, like it wasn't a hugely good trade for the Allies, you know, but at the moment they don't really need to take good trades to keep winning this game. Just need to maintain territory control, keep the pressure up. Especially Iran, who has so much in his bank. Filled himself an IS-2, still has enough, well, plenty more. The IS-2 rumbling through the centre. Panther's extremely low. It's a main gun crit too. Here comes the King Tiger though. For Ariskinosis. See if that can turn the tide. Triple anti-tank guns. Here comes the Werfer strike. Decrew on 2 low health ones. There's 2 coming, clearing off the far side. Iran doesn't need a huge number of engineers for repairs since he has the vehicle crew repairs in this commander. And both of those get destroyed. Is that by the Zis? I didn't see who destroyed the decrewed anti-tank guns. Could have been quite nice for the Axis to have though. Command tank, uh-oh. Risky stuff in front of the Zis. Planes coming in for Iran as the Axis try to go for the central capture again. Cap running. Axis are getting low very, very quickly. No anti-air. Oh. Sure Panzer headquarters though, getting some good hits going. Pentals try and do their best as well. the other plane time out? It looks like it might have. I don't think I heard it get shot down. Oh, is that it back there? It might be. Oh, jamming it with the secure mode on the T-34. Volkswagen's end up going down. T-34 is going to go down as well, though. Did hold on to the point for maybe another 10 seconds or so. Don't 100% know if that's worth it. Here come tanks for Iran from the side. Still have marked vehicle active on the King Tiger. Tiger backing away. Team's coming in from the side. They've got PTRSs and an LMG. Pushing back the Werfers, IS-2 and T-34 diving in. Get behind the King Tiger. Here comes the Panther looking to assist his teammate. IS-2 certainly going to go down. And how much more damage can the Allies do? Got a sticky satchel coming through on this Panther. Teams have to get out of there after that, but we've got some more Penals coming in for some follow-up. It's not going to last much longer. Here comes an SU-85 now as well. 20 points left. Axis have found an attempt to get down here, but the Maxim in the building jamming them before they get the decapture. And the Panther goes down as well. SU-85 combining with that PTRS Penal. Looks like the Allies have got this one locked up. Axis just can't get on the VPs. They're trying everything, they're throwing it all in there, but it's not going to be enough. There you go. So, Iran showing a mass penal blobbing style pretty effective, as it turns out. I think the Axis, as I was saying, lacking a bit in suppression this match really hurt them. As soon as the Allies wanted to just go for like an all-in push, it's generally only one machine gun just slightly shut down like one of the angles they were getting pushed from. That just allowed the Allies so much more free in this game to be aggressive with those pushes, and were very successful with them overall. I think Ariskinosis may be losing just a little bit too much. Fell a little bit too far behind. I think it was a good move coming into the center. You know, they made a bit of a reasonable push. Killed a whole bunch of Gjabu's stuff with that push, but ultimately they got ground down over the course of the long game. So yeah, I think a bit more suppression was in order for the Axis overall. But there you go. Well done by the Allies. Had a bit of a rocky start, but they finished really strong. Anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like again to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.